Okay, Tiff. So as you guys know, I have been running my business now for like a year and a half, year and some change.
Hmm.
And I originally focused on career coaching. I am now based on some guidance from Tiffany and also just sort of seeing where my superpower has emerged, like what makes me different. I am niching down and I'm going even further and identifying myself as a negotiation expert, not just a career coach, which I do, and I do well, but an actual negotiation expert. So, Tiff, what I wanted to talk to you first is like,
Okay.
what are some lessons about niching down that you think have been pivotal to your business success? And do you think that it's smart of me to start niching down in this way, even further from like career expert, but
Hmm.
really as like a negotiation expert?
So I learned the niche down lesson when in the beginning, like so many entrepreneurs, it's like I do everything for everybody, and
Hmm.
it sounds great because it's like I have a big audience. But what happens is psychologically, the potential customer does not see your full value, right? So imagine like what's your favorite food that you like to eat? Like
Ooh,
type of food, like Greek,
arepas.
Italian. Okay, so like Spanish, like was that Dominican food?
That's Venezuelan. I love
Venezuelan.
them.
Okay, so you love Venezuelan food. And if I said, Mandy, let's go out to eat, I'm in the mood for Venezuelan alongside with you. Should we go to this Venezuelan restaurant or should we go to this buffet that also serves Venezuelan food? Which one would you choose?
I would choose the Venezuelan restaurant.
Right? Because why?
Yeah.
Because the assumption is that restaurant focused specifically on Venezuelan food, meaning they're going to bring you the best possible food outcome because that's all they do. The buffet is, although they might have general good, there are general food place. And so if you're wanting customers that are going to cling to you and say, you are my go-to, you can't be a buffet business.
Hmm.
Because then you're going to get customers who are indecisive. I want a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Mandy could do or anybody else could do. Because any buffet will do
Yeah.
if you're just looking for general food. But if I want Venezuelan food, I'm going specifically, like we're calling Venezuelan food like negotiating. If I want negotiating advice, I go specifically to Mandy because that's what she does versus another coach who coaches in all things. Now,
Hmm.
here's what makes it special, Dom. In the beginning, niching down is critical because you're wanting to connect you want to have like this visceral connection with your audience. And you do that by being very specific, but you're not going to stay there forever. Because ideally what you're wanting is you want to really grow what I call a tree business. So a tree business is a business that grows a really strong root in one core thing. I am the budgetista, budget, 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 budget. And I grew such a strong root, such a strong trunk in that tree. If you're watching on YouTube, which you should be, you'll see my hand. So this is a tree trunk.
Yeah.
Such a
Okay.
strong tree trunk in budgeting, 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 budgeting. Over time, I got to branch off into these strong branches I also talk about credit and debt, and I have books, I have an online school. You see what I mean? Nike was
Yeah.
just a running sneaker. And now you can buy Nike watches, Nike t-shirts, Nike apps. But if Nike opened with that from the very beginning, they would be a bush business. You know how bushes grow? They sprout very quickly and their branches are brittle and they stunt their own growth. And so that's why I told you that like get really, really clear and niche down, but it doesn't mean you'll be niched forever, but you are growing the
Yeah.
tree trunk that people will come to know, love, and trust you for. So then you can branch out into these stronger branches because they're like, oh, is that Mandy from the negotiating thing that I love so much? Oh, she
Yes.
also has, and she has, and she has, and she has, and she has. Versus, like you're like the corner store where they're selling chicken chains and bootleg
Chicken.
and
Lotto tickets.
yeah, exactly. And so yeah, that's why like that's the big lesson. That's why I told you to start from that place, because you'll
Yeah.
set yourself apart as a specialist.
Thank you for reminding me of that point. And I love the tree trunk analogy. I feel like we need to like compile and make a book out of all these beautiful horticulture analogies that fit so well with business and life.
Yes.
No, but for real, because even though I remember, I'm like niching, and you hear a lot of things. A lot of people are like, riches are in your niches, even though you don't
Hmm.
pronounce anyway. And niching down and how important that is. And of course, you've told me that as well. You can sometimes like your mind gets in your own way, and
Yes.
even just today, I'm like, oh, but wait, I do this and that too. But I'm like, yeah, you just reminded me, like, that's okay. Focus on the
Yes.
negotiating, making that the tree trunk, because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't had that one pillar of greatness, of
Mm-hmm.
excellence,
Mm-hmm.
until I started to lean into negotiating. I definitely had a lot of like great feedback as a career coach,
Mm-hmm.
but to actually like be able to articulate my value and build trust with the
Yes.
community,
Yep.
to be the go-to
Yep.
and build that trust in that one skill set, then I feel like, and you reminded me that, okay, of course, like they would then trust me for what I think is
Yes.
also important: professional branding,
Mm-hmm.
interview skills,
Mm-hmm.
all of the other components of a holistic career approach. So, okay, niching down, I'm going to remember the branch and the trunk and the branches. All right,
Mm-hmm.
fabulous.
Hey, BA fam, we're on YouTube. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
And while you're at it, why don't you go over to that little bell icon and just tap that for us. Show the BA fam how much you love us. And that way you'll also get notifications when new videos drop. Also, share the channel with a friend. We're always like, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And thank y'all so much again for all the support.